Hi, this instructional video will show you how to complete the task of greasing 8 zerks that need to be greased every 3 months. Begin by checking to make sure this task is due for maintenance by observing the maintenance log located on the machine. If it is due for maintenance, be sure to update the log after you're finished. Next, you will need to lock out and tag the machine for maintenance by following all lockout procedures. Begin by shutting down the computer and powering down the machine. Keep in mind that safety glasses must be worn during this whole procedure. Shut the machine off. Apply the lockout tagout tag and the lock. And check the regular power on off cycle to be sure the machine is properly locked out. You are now ready to begin this maintenance process. You will need a 5/16 inch Allen wrench, a 1/4 inch Allen wrench, a grease gun, some rags for removing grease, an air blower, a work light, and latex gloves and an apron if you desire to prevent getting grease on your clothes and hands. Begin by taking off the end cover located on the far left side of the machine if you are facing the machine by removing the 2 Allen bolts using the 5/16 inch wrench. After you have removed the cover, you can hook into the air connection located on the machine itself and spray off loose sawdust buildup that has attached to grease around the bearings. Be careful not to spray too close to any electrical components and avoid high pressure near any fragile or loose components. You'll need to hand wipe off any excess grease and especially the zerks so that they do not get contaminated when applying grease. Also be sure to clean grease gun nozzle before injecting grease so that it does not eject foreign objects inside the zerk. Clean off debris outside around the sides of the bearing so that you can see when you have enough grease applied. You will need to look for grease coming out the edges of the bearing wall to know when you have enough, or if you are exceeding the amount needed. As you can see in this picture, grease is beginning to come out of the bearing wall, indicating that you have plenty of grease. To apply the grease, simply put the grease gun tip tightly onto the zerk and give it about 2 to 3 pumps or until you see grease coming out of the bearing wall. Now put the guard back on. Begin by hand tightening the Allen bolts and then using an Allen wrench to prevent stripping out the threads. You can now move on to the front of the machine and remove the bottom front panel by using a 1/4 inch Allen wrench. Remove 4 bolts if they're available. As you can see here, there are only 3 currently on the plate. Also remove the far right lower panel located right around the corner. You can blow off any excess grease. Be sure not to spray too close to any electrical components and keep the air pressure low. Here you can see the 2 zerks that will need to receive grease, and there are 2 zerks located behind this mounting plate directly in front of you. Here's a back view of the 2 zerks located behind the mounting plate. Clean off the zerks with a rag to prevent contamination, as well as the edges and the sides of the bearing so that you can see when you've applied enough grease. You're now ready to add grease to the zerks. Give it 2 to 3 pumps or until you can see grease exiting the sidewall of the bearing. Follow the same procedure on the next zerk. Do the same procedure on the zerks located behind the mounting plate. When I went to apply grease into one of these zerks, it was clogged. If this happens to you, you can unclog the zerk by using a clean, sharp object to press in the ball and clean off residue around the ball so that it will allow grease to move inside the zerk. You can now move on to the last 2 zerks located behind the machine. Remove the top cover plate on the back of the machine. Inside you'll see 2 zerks as shown here. Follow the same process as the other zerks. By first cleaning off the zerks themselves and then the bearings and excess sawdust and grease around them. Just remember to clean up your tools and put them back in their proper place. Clean up the rags and the surrounding area. Remove the lockout tagout by following the proper lockout tagout guidelines, and prepare the machine for operation by starting up the computer and the Quick Chop program. Remember to update the maintenance log by writing in the next scheduled due date for this maintenance task, which should be 3 months from the current service. Please talk to your supervisor if you have any questions or comments regarding this video, and have a great day.